Hey everybody, this is Kyle Creasy. I'm an assistant basketball coach at Maryville High School in Maryville, Tennessee, out in East Tennessee. Um, I'm making this video both for people that I'm sending to right now or for anybody who comes across it if you wanted to use it. Um, Over the summer, I decided to create my own basketball statistic called the Pro Statistic. If you know me, you know I've always been into analytics, I've always been into statistics. I love that kind of thing. I think that they can be very helpful, especially with context. And I decided I wanted to try and create my own stat. Um, I've always thought that there could potentially be a stat that could be helpful that's kind of like an all-in-one statistic, but I've not been a huge fan of the all-in-one statistics. The two most popular that are used at the highest levels of basketball and even at the high school level where I'm at right now. At the highest levels, you've got the PER, which is the player efficiency rating, and at the level that we're at the high school level or the middle school level, either one, if you use Huddle, you see a stat that is called VPS, which is a value point system. Now, PER has this long formula, so does VPS. And yes, with my Stat Pro, it has a long formula as well. But my thing is when I created this Pro statistic, Pro stands for production representing opportunity. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take an all-in-one statistic that takes production and I wanted to see, with equal opportunity, if what is somebody's production and are they efficient while doing so? So in doing that, I'm going to share my screen here. I created the Pro formula. Now, the Pro formula here, I'm going to move my screen here. The Pro formula here, it is it combines production and efficiency into a single comprehensive statistic. Okay. Now, the rate components, it takes points, assists, rebounds, steals, blocks, deflections, second chance points, and offensive rebounds. It takes all of those things, and you see those 22s beside them because it is using a per 22-minute rate. That way you have equal production. Now, why did I use 22 minutes? It really doesn't matter what minute you use. It's all going to be proportionally the same. But I use 22 so that when you see it visually, it's numbers that make sense. So in a high school game, there's 32 minutes of game clock. If you play 22 minutes, you're almost playing three full quarters. So that was the whole purpose of using the per 22-minute mark. Now, there also is a bonus that is added after that number is created. That bonus takes effective field goal percentage, assist to turnover ratio, free throw percentage, turnover percentage, and plus minus. So it has a score rating for all of those, and it adds bonuses. Those bonus numbers are actually adaptive depending on how your team is performing. Okay. So then you start getting into what are the actual scores at the end. Well, there's four categories. If you are greater than or equal to a 35, you're considered a highly productive player. If you're in between a 20 and a 34.9, you'd be considered a productive player. So anything that's 20 or above, you're doing good. Like you're making good out of your minutes. Anything in between 10 and 19.9, you're an average player. So you're kind of going in and you're just kind of filling the gaps. They might have some mess ups here and there. They might produce to offset it, but they are an average player in terms of production with efficiency. And then anything less than 10 is unproductive, meaning that given that time that that player is playing on an equal playing field with everybody else, they are unproductive. Okay. And that is how you get the rating for pro. Now, got to change my share here and get to my window. Okay. Now, whenever you are actually online trying to access this, okay, and I'm going to X out of it, it first starts by actually using Huddle. Now, whenever you're in Huddle, you can go to reports. And whenever you're on reports, that's where you see all your team statistics. Okay, this works directly with Huddle CSVs, which are comma separated values which are just spreadsheets. Okay. So what I've done is when you first get into Huddle, it shows overall stuff and it'll probably show like your most recent game. I've already filtered all 13 games that our team played over the summer. So I just hit all season. That's all you have to do. Or you can choose, like I do pulse stats, and I call pulse stats like against every team that I think has a pulse. Like whenever you play good teams and you want to see stats against good teams. Um, any way that you want to do it, first third of the season, second third of the season, third of the season, halfway point, second half of the season. You can filter it however you'd like. But ultimately, you have to go to athlete. It's okay if you do overall, but it's actually going to show you on the pro app that you did not do an athlete CSV and that you need individual athlete stats, not team stats. And I can show you what that looks like as well. But whenever you get to this point, you will have the team stats here. Okay, obviously has every statistic that is in the pro formula. You will hit export. Okay, you will hit download CSV. I don't have to do that right now because I already have this CSV downloaded. But then that will download that CSV directly to your computer. Now, I have the website already favorited and bookmarked on my computer, but to go to it, it is pro-analyzer.app. Okay, this is a live domain that is fully functioning. It is its own site and it is secure with HTTPS. Okay, so it is secure. It will not harm your computer. It is a purchased domain. It is something you can use. Okay, it is not a locally hosted website. It is a domain that is out there for anybody to use and it is safe. Okay, when you get here, you will see that there's a choose file option that will tell you no file chosen. So you will have to upload a Huddle CSV. So the Huddle CSV that I downloaded, it's down here. Being slow because I'm on Zoom. Almost there. Here we go. Okay. So from the summer, I open it up and immediately it reads the entire CSV. It doesn't take it any time, it can read it instantly. Okay, and then this is where you can hit start analysis. Now, I will show you that there's a minimum games option as well to where you can actually, it starts at one so that we're not displaying any default, nothing, zeros, whatever, but it starts at one so that it only shows players that have played a game. Now, when we hit start analysis here, you will see that instantly it comes up with player names, pro ratings, telling you if they're in which four of the categories that they are of highly productive, productive, average, unproductive, and it displays the games played and the minutes per game to give you perspective of how they're performing. Now, you can see the number one player up here, 2 games played. The last player here, 3 games played. So if we want to go in and put like a 5 game minimum because there was 13 games played. Now we've filtered people who only played, a few games of a 13 game sample size. And I'll show you what it would look like with a bigger game sample size. Now, this is the player card view. There's a player card view and a table view. So on the player card view, this is what you see. Table view shows the exact same things. It's just laid out like a table instead of the player cards. The advantage of the player cards is that you can hit this checkbox that says show debug. When you check that, you can now see per 22 numbers for everything that is put in the formula for pro points, assists, rebounds, steals, blocks, deflections, second chance points, and offensive rebounds. Now, it doesn't show the efficiency bonuses, but it shows these numbers and it kind of gives context to why the rating is what it is. Okay. Now, um, you can take it off, get it right back here. This does not only just work with one CSV. Now, I'm working on being able to make logins for this so it saves all your data. I'm going to work on being able to make this an iPhone app so that you can access it all through there. This is just what we have for now. So, but you can still go and change CSV. So, again, bear with me because this is going to be slow because I got Zoom going recording this right now. But, oh, passed it. but you can click on a different CSV. So like this was from 2 years ago. I wasn't at Maryville at that point, but it's what I can access. Hit start analysis. You will now see any player who played that season for Maryville High School. They played 37 games, so that's what it's pulling from. So you'll see this guy at the top played 6 games, guy at the bottom played 13. You got all kinds of guys that played 20, 30 games somewhere in there. So if 37 games, if we wanted to bump this up to like 18, we could now narrow it down to just guys that played essentially, call it half the season. Same thing works. The table view and the cards has the debug option to show you the per 22 actual number that they would have there. Um, I think this is going to be useful, based on what I observed this summer and whenever I created the statistic, it really helped me. And I think every coach kind of knows who their top few guys are, and I think that's always going to be the case. But I want this to be something that helps you decipher kind of that 4 through 10, because in some cases, especially with depth, that is extremely hard to decipher. So that was the whole goal of the statistic. I wanted an all efficiency stat that had equal opportunity in it, and I feel like I've got something here with it. My goal is I want people to try this, um, and just kind of let me know what you think. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's cool. I get it. Stats aren't everybody's thing, and maybe the stat isn't for you. But I do think it is something that can help people. And so that's why I'm trying to share it with people so that you can use it.